And a good afternoon to you, rugby fans. Welcome to Houston, Texas. It's the Rhino Bowl, National Collegiate Rugby Championships, Men's National 15s 2024. Brings you this first day of Championship Saturday. Siena the Saints versus the Iowa Central Community College Tritons. I am John Broker, joined by Craig, the contact coach Wilson, for this electric matchup.
Yeah, thanks for having me, John. Excited to be here. Two great teams. They're going to give it their all.
It is going to be a fantastic morning. We have a couple of championships today. Siena 5-4 on the season, put up some pretty good points. Also scored a bit again. Some of the highlights of their season: lost to Brown, is going to be in the D1 final later on today. Lost to AIC, big win over Iona. Well, they're right near the top of the pack in the Liberty Conference. Great season, well deserved to be here in Houston. As for the Tritons playing in Big Rivers, 6-5. 262 points for them. Some of their key losses here was the Wheeling not to go to the finals after at Big River, and a win over Marion and a loss to Principia. Very strong teams in that Big Rivers Conference. They are here to battle it out against Siena for the Rhino Bowl. Teams taking the field here in Houston at SaberCats Stadium. Just ready to play. You see the Siena Saints in green on your left, and in the blue is Iowa Central on your right. National Collegiate Rugby bringing you this action on the Rugby Network all weekend. It is a matchup to wait for. We're going to look at some of the lineups for these two teams. For the Siena Saints, it's Tio Tanisi, Rupert Bronkhorst, and Tiago Rovetta in the front row. Anthony Guarino and Harvey Hogan in the second row. Thomas Mann and Andrew Broccoli, your flankers. Holden Cumley is at number 8 for the Saints. In the backs, you have Henry Thompson to Luca Holloway, the 9-10 connection there. In the centers, you have Burns. That's Jack Burns and Harry Ryder. On the wings is Connor Watkins and Rory Wood with Eddie Pierce at fullback. For your Iowa Central Tritons, pardon me, we're ready to play today. It is Alden Bordalo, John Sutton, and Curtis Downey in the front row. Colby McPherson and Connor Price holding down the second row in the engine room. Hudson Vrao and Harry Bennett are your flankers with Tyler Gass at number 8. Alanga Mabele is the scrum half to Cohen Webb. Steady customer there. Sean Jacoby and Jonah Getch in the centers. Gavin Olison and Alec Brunette in the wings. And Tukujua Musinguini at fullback. Siena Saints are going to be left to right on your screen in the green, as we said. Your referee headed out to take care of this one is Sean Bastick. Had one game yesterday in the rain. They'll be a little happier today. In the mid-70s, a little humid here, Craig, but it is going to be potential little rain on and off all day, and a bit of wind kicking up.
Yeah, you can see the wind is probably going to have the biggest factor to start with. Looks like right now it's going to be straight into the Siena face. Let's see if this ball hangs up in the air. But both teams will be looking to try and get a really good start, get a foothold into this game, and then build momentum from there.
Ball from the Siena Saints get us started inside the 22 of the Tritons. Tritons are going to go to the boot right away there, just raking that one downfield, not finding touch. Ball to the Siena Saints. Siena outside of Albany, New York, Loudonville. Beautiful part of the world there. As they go quickly, ball comes out. Into the centers they go. Luca Holloway, number 10, gets that one out to Harry Ryder. Ryder takes it into contact. Back across they go. Fred de Coker, wearing the number 22. Gets a ball in the middle of the field. Holloway again. Holloway has a run himself. Players trying to come in over that. Tyler Gast. Excellent. Number 8 for the Tritons. Can't quite get it over that one. Quick ball looking for de Coker. Gets it out again. Out into the hands of Harry Ryder. Harry Ryder loses that one forward. Curtis Downey has it. Downey at the 22. We have a knock-on advantage here to the Tritons. Tritons coached by Brent Nelson with Joe Lippert, Quinton Gilligan joining him as assistants for this great team. Players in there trying to get their hands on it. Referee Bastick has an eye on it there. See where this ball's going to go. The Siena player releases eventually. So Halanga Mabele has it. Halanga Mabele hangs one up in the air. Cape Town, South Africa. Mabele ball comes bouncing off of Siena into the hands of the Tritons. Tritons player in and over trying to rip that one away. It was Andrew Broccoli, but it's going to come back to Mabele. First penalty here. It's going to be Iowa Central ball.
Yeah, both teams feeling each other out there just to start. You got Siena, who had a bunch of a possession. They were trying to play into their system, mixing up between the forwards and the backs. And then eventually, Iowa Central, they get the ball back. Some pretty resolute defense there from the Iowa Central team. They managed to get the ball back through that penalty, and they get a chance to clear their lines.
Tip that one, do clear the lines. You see the coaching staff right there. Couple of them anyway. Brent not in shot. Line out coming here for Iowa Central. You can see from that flag there, the wind is going to play a difference. It's at the back of Siena right now for the first half. These lineouts going to want to go short and direct, most likely to make this happen. 5-player lineup coming for the Tritons. Saints eyeing this one up. It's distance enough that they want to connect. Sorry, they want to compete at this one. Comes down to Colby McPherson. Referee says not straight, and that's that wind. It's going to be a scrum or line-out choice for the Saints.
Yeah, just got a sense there. The referee was thinking about the one. It's probably going to be a long day at the office for both of these hookers. The wind is causing havoc out there. And I'm sure the referee didn't want to be blowing up straight away because that means he has to do it for the whole game. But eventually it was decided that it wasn't straight. Siena Saints have decided they want to take a scrum. First scrum of the game, always an interesting point to see where we're at.
Look at Rory Wood there as the Saints get ready to go. Saints here at SaberCat Stadium, National Collegiate Rugby here on the Rugby Network. Little stack play there, ball bounces. Did it get knocked forward? It did, and referee says intentionally so. So referee Bastick going to award a penalty to the Saints here. See Eddie Pierce step up.
Yeah, nice strike play there from Siena. They had 4 or 5 players running at the line in very similar holes. That makes it difficult for the defense. You actually just have to pick a space to try and get after it. They tried that there. Unfortunately for the Tridents, it was a deliberate knock on when Siena can march themselves to downfield. But that was a nice strike. You can see that we're trying to put pressure on, particularly around that 10-12 channel.
Be a line out inside the 40-meter line of the Iowa Central Tritons. Going to be Siena ball. Ready to go here. Rupert Bronkhorst has ball in hand. Been a key member of this team. Bronkhorst, a senior psychology major.
Let him go now.
South African born, playing for coach Jaco Visser in Loudonville. Ball forward from the Tritons. Mabele has it. Mabele gets it in the middle of the field, looking to run now. They go around the back. There's some space open here. Musinguini has it. Musinguini has a great step. He lets that one go. Gets it out into the hands of Brunette. Mabele. Pot of forwards coming straight up here. Downey taking that one into contact. Mabele has a runner that's going to chip that one forward through Cohen Webb. Cohen Webb, North Carolina native, gets that one down, but it is in the hands of Eddie Pierce. Eddie Pierce gets it away to Tio Tanisi. Tanisi from East London, South Africa. Loose head prop for Siena, a senior now in the program. Ball again to Coker. Dummy runner comes in. They look outside. Nice little wraparound there from Pierce. Get the ball out to the wing. Connor Watkins has it. Referee's going to come back. Looks like a high tackle against Iowa Central. Ball here to the Siena Saints.
Yeah, some nice work there from number 15 from the Saints, Eddie Pierce, just working around in those back channels, just making that slight overlap every single time. The Tritons were up to it in their defensive shape, but the tackle just rode a little bit too high. Therefore, that's a penalty, and once again, Siena get a chance to clear the lines. Now, they're not getting so much distance with the kick, particularly with the wind in their favor, so that's something they're going to be looking to try and rectify if they're going to get some real key field position.
Ball up, hanging in the wind, winds up in the Tritons' hands. Little daring to go for that long one there. Connor Price has it. Connor Price gets the Iowa Central Tritons going forward. The ball out, spills down, just dropped there. Bit of wind, bit of difficulty, bit of early game jitters. We're going to have a scrum just inside their half to the Siena Saints.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed straight away from the Siena Saints is how much pressure they're putting on at the defensive ruck. Every single time they have someone competing that ball, either counter-rucking or going for the jackal turnover. So that's really interesting point there. The Tridents have got to fix that up because it's just slowing their ball down, and that's what is putting pressure on them there because the Saints could get maximum line speed, turnover, and then it's into their own scrum.
Big drive coming from the Saints, possibly looking for a penalty here. Not going to get it this time, so they're going to go for a little move. Looking for the wraparound. Finally comes back, glutted up there as the ball gets to Eddie Pierce. Eddie Pierce switches it back into the hands of Rory Wood. Rory Wood moves it back into the center. Second touch there for Harry Ryder on this play as they have Holloway in one direction. They're going to go in behind Tanisi to another waiting forward there. Handing it over to Tyler Gass. Tyler Gass trying to rip that one away. Can't quite make it happen as the Coker takes on his opposite number, Mabele. Away they come. Eddie Pierce steps into the distributor role. Just slow, but coming out the back there into the hands of Jack Burns. Burns gets it to his center partner there in Harry Ryder. But just about 7 or 8 meters out, you can hear some delighted fans at that work right there. Ball comes back to Harvey Hogan. Harvey Hogan works his way towards the line, the Limerick, Scotland native. Didn't know Limerick was in Scotland. Little break through the line here, and here they come. Looking at the try line. Are they there? Referee is going to say, oh, let's wait a second. He's going to confer with the assistant referee. There'll be a try here to Eddie Pierce. Eddie Pierce, well done. 5 points to the good for the Siena Saints.
Mentioned it earlier in the play, Eddie Pierce, he's just working those back channels really well. He's just making sure that he's that support line, whether it's on the outside, but it was originally, and then this time it was an inside. So number 15 is just hanging around the place. You can see that classic forwards 3 play there, but then it's just that inside ball to Eddie Pierce, and then he accelerates onto the ball and gets that ball down. He's putting himself in some excellent positions. For all money, it looked like number 8 there, Comley, was going to carry, but it's that inside ball and then that power to get over the line. He just gets the ball to the line, but that's enough. That's a great statement start there from the Siena Saints.
Kick to come here, 5-0 for the Saints. Houston SaberCats Stadium. National Collegiate Rugby Rhino Bowl. Ball is up, skewed a little bit here, and that one is no good. Excuse me, so we'll stay at 5-0.
Yeah, you've got to say in these first few minutes that Siena have dominated. First and foremost, they've dominated the scrum. That is a fundamental part of winning rugby. So they've been strong at the scrum. That's allowed them to put pressure on. And secondly, their defensive rugby's been excellent. That's led to 2 turnovers, and then therefore they've got the field position.
Pardon me, didn't hear the whistle from the referee there. It is good, so it's 7-0 to Siena. My apologies. We don't want to take away those extra 2 points there as we have the restart to come from Iowa Central. High hanging ball. Knocked back from the Tritons. Referee spots the ball going back. It looked like an advantage there. They're going to hang on to that one. It's going to get outside quickly. The Coker gets it out into the hands of Connor Watkins. Whistle goes, however. We're going to come back for that play.
Yeah, nice little initial break there from 21. Jack Burns in and around that ruck. He was just seeing if there's going to be a few holes. There was one. He took the space and he tried to get the offloading game going. But the Tritons, they managed to recover, and then they've got themselves a scrum. But the scrum for the Iowa Central has been under a little bit of pressure. So let's see where this, but it looks like they've come back from that original knock-on from the restart.
Siena Saints. Good movement so far. Another strong scrum from them. Can they draw a penalty? They play in a pretty strong scrummaging division in the Liberty Conference, the northeast part of the country. That one goes back over Musanguini's head, rolls into the try zone. Will it roll dead? This is a very, very large try zone. It take an awful lot to get there, so it's going to touch this one down. Cohen Webb happy to do so. Cohen Webb, a sophomore fire science major from Charlotte, North Carolina. Going to be a goal line drop for the Tritons.
Yeah, smart tactics, particularly from Siena, who's got the wind to their back, so the kick is going to go further. And as you mentioned, John, it's a really big end zone here in Houston, and so it's going to be a dropout, but Siena are going to get great field position so they can launch their attack once again.
High hanging kick there from Musanguini. Maybe not exactly what you want as the Coker comes down with that one. For the Coker, it gets that ball. It's up to Bronkhorst. Bronkhorst, a powerful runner, gets stopped by Takudwa Musanguini as they come out to the right-hand side, looking to go around the back. A little show to the outside from Ryder. Ryder hangs onto it. Ryder goes back. Ryder steps in. Ryder touches down. We have points here for Siena. They are at 12.
Yeah, really smart rugby. It all came from that initial kick. It was put dead in the end zone, which leads then to the dropout, but into this wind it's difficult. So that gives them field position on the 22, and then this time it was the back, so just moving that ball into space. Then Harry Ryder, number 13, with a right foot step. The defense doesn't keep covering. There's the hole, and he will not get a better opportunity than that when that defense just stops the drift. It's a really great step, powers through the hole, bit of a fend as well, and then a try under the sticks. Really well worked there from Siena.
Harry Ryder, a first-year player. I'm sure Jaco Visser, the coach, will be very happy to hang on to him for the next 3. 12 kick to come within range here. You do see the wind back there. Player rushes on, a ball goes up, and it is good. So we're at 14-0 here. Siena over Iowa Central.
And I wouldn't be surprised here if Siena do exactly the same again. If they win the kickoff, just get a big kick, put it down into Iowa Central's half, make them work out. It's really difficult as we just look back at this try there. Lovely little fend there from Harry Ryder to finish off. And a nice dive under the sticks as well. I wonder if you saw the cameraman behind there. He's pumped, his team's pumped. It's a great start from Siena.
Another kick from the Tritons. High up in the air, look to be taken there. Referee whistles quickly. Penalty against Iowa Central quickly.
Yeah, we're just not catching a break right now, Iowa Central. They're trying to force it. It was a great kickoff. It hung up in the wind, so it became contestable. It looks like potentially played a man in the air there. So the referee was on the spot. Siena, once again, that's 4 penalties now. They've had an opportunity to clear their lines. Number 15 here, Eddie Pearce, he's going to look to put it deep.
Pierce, the senior from Cornwall, England, launches that one downfield, doesn't find touch. At their own 22, here come the Tritons. They've got runners out to this left-hand side. They go wide quickly to Musinguini. Musinguini hands off one, steps another. Musinguini working his way through the Saints. Shows again, he's got 2 or 3 defenders around him now. He's beaten nearly half the team at this point. Ball to the ground. Mabele, player was offsides there. Referee's going to let it go. It's into the hands of Olesen. Olesen moves it a little wider. They're cutting back in. There's the try line, and there's the answer. Jonah Getch is going to touch that one down. Jonah Getch from Denmark, Wisconsin, gets 5 points there for the Tritons.
That is the Iowa Central that we know. First of all, it came from a missed touch from Eddie Pearce, and then Musinguini. What a run from number 15 from Iowa Central, deep into that half, and then it was a continuity play. Wonderful clear out there, and it was just finding those edges, just taking that space, passing that offload at the right time, and then a little step to get in. This is wonderful work, Musinguini originally, and I really like Mabele, just how he takes that ball on the edge, and you got Olesen, and then just hanging out on the wing, just waiting for his time. Beautiful offload, still a defender to beat. Look at that step under the post, and I think there's a little dance to finish it off there from number 13. He is very happy, and he's got his team right back in this game.
Good work there from Getch to touch that one down. 5 points here. Kick to come, tough angle in the wind. So yeah, not quite yet happy coaching staff from Iowa Central. Ball being lined up here by Cohen Webb. Cohen Webb out of South Meck High School. Very good rugby high schools in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Cohen Webb hits that one. It curves around, but it is going to stay down there. So we're at 14-5.
Yeah, and Iowa Central there, they've just put the Saints on notice. If you do not kick properly and you're a bit loose, that back 3 is going to carve you up. Love that run there from Musinguini, number 15 for Iowa Central. He's going to be looking for those opportunities again.
A little early rush there from the Saints. Try from the Tritons makes things a little more even. I think the Tritons are probably just a little bit surprised at that start, but they're back on song a bit now. Push that downfield. Don't get too much in this wind. So it's going to be a line out for the Saints about 30 meters out from the Iowa Central line.
Yeah, you've got a clear kickoff restart structure from the Saints. They're kicking long and to the left. They've also got 4 players in the backfield as well. So they're wanting Iowa Central to kick back really interestingly there. So it's a good organized chase, and then the kick didn't go where it wanted to do. So that is just wonderful work from Siena. Great work from the coaching staff. That is a clear pattern that they've been working on.
It's being called an Iowa Central ball. I thought they had kicked it out from their own 22. Must have been touched there, I suppose. Ball in from Iowa Central, down in the hands of Curtis Downey. Curtis Downey from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Little pick and go from the back, just trying to make some room is Connor Price, the Poughkeepsie, New York native. Mabele looks for a target, going to go in behind the forwards there. Wide they go, off to the left. Musinguini again steps around his first defender. He is not having a problem with that at the moment. Big tackle comes in, however, on Brunette. Jacoby steps into the distributor role and gets it in the hands of Hudson Vrau. Cohen Webb holds the ball, looking for some space. Cohen Webb up in the middle of the field, a little bit isolated, able to offload that one, however. Alden Bordallo has a hold of the ball. Bordallo from Guam. Ball gets hacked ahead. Have an offsides call here against the Saints. So things turning slowly 17 minutes into the favor of Iowa Central.
Yeah, Iowa Central looking really good with ball in hand. Once again, mentioned it a few times, Musinguini, awesome. He looks like he can step in this tiniest of area and just find edges. So keep an eye on that man. He's been really getting them, the Iowa Central team, on the front foot. And then Cohen Webb there, he noticed that there was a hole. There was an offside advantage being played, so you can risk it a little bit more. He found the space, and they were playing under advantage. It didn't quite work out, but it still gives them an opportunity to kick the ball out and have our own launch from a line out just on halfway.
Musinguini moves wide. You see him in the lower part of your screen just there, as we're going to go to the line out for the Iowa Central Tritons. Wind, as you can see with the flag back there, could be a factor. They have typically played these ones a bit wider right away, trying to get Musinguini and their outside backs in some space. As they go to the front, well taken down there by Tyler Gast. Was he held by the other team? Referee says everything is good at the moment, so Mabele is going to line up some players, gets the ball to Webb. Webb has some forwards. Just a tick sideways there is Vrau. Able to recycle that one. Mabele, they're going to go wide quickly. Musinguini again gets around his first defender. Offloads that ball into the hands of Brunette. Brunette has to cut back in. He's got Getch, the try scorer, with a Mabele. Middle of the field. Mabele again. Has a pot of forwards in the middle of the field. Curtis Downey there from Southwest High School, a welding major. Connor Price. Putting the phases together here are the Iowa Central Tritons. Big hands in and over that one from Tonisi. So the Tritons are going to be able to recycle that ball, but Mabele whipped down to the ground. Good containment on him right there. Alden Bordallo is behind, but it's going to be taken by Connor Price. Connor Price, a little dart through the defense there, gets a little forward momentum. You can see the Saints defense just starting to wrap around. Another one just to the ground from Vrau. Vrau from Bondurant, Wisconsin. Mabele looks to be shaping to kick here. Mabele, however, is just going to hand that one off to Connor Price. It's his second touch in this series. Ball comes across to Downey. Downey hit well by the Saints defense. Mabele finds Price again. Mabele looking for the ball or a call from the referee. He's going to dig the ball out of there and find it. Gets it out to Webb. Webb is going to thread this one through. It's inside the 22 on the ground, bouncing, but back in Saints' hands. They've given up possession, and the Saints are going to launch one downfield looking for some field position. Musinguini, Takuzwa Musinguini from Zimbabwe, again is going to beat his first defender, his first two or three, and then offload that ball. And here come the Tritons. Tritons, big step there from Sutton. Sutton, however, passes to his opposite number, and Bronkhorst has it. And the Saints are going to launch this one again downfield. Going to find some green grass. It's going to roll back inside the 22. Musinguini has to work back on it. He's got the Coker bearing down on him. Moves the ball across field. 4 defenders up for the Saints. A couple of runners here as the ball gets to Tyler Gast. Tyler Gast looking for an offload, doesn't get it, eventually has to go to ground, but gets it ground. They're at the 50-meter line. Mabele looking for some space. He's brought near the touchline, but we have an offsides call against the Saints. Mabele ball in hand, but they're going to think better. Going quick.
Yeah, you can see some of the boys there absolutely exhausted from both teams. That was a great period of play. Both teams with an opportunity. First of all, it was Ira Central working down the field. Connor Price, number 5 for the Tritons, he's been a mammoth so far. He has been really hitting those really tight holes, which really brings in that defense. And it gives people like Musinguini and also Webb for the Ira Central team to start finding those gaps. As soon as the Saints got the ball back, they were trying to clear it long. They just wanted to be anywhere but near their own half. This is a great battle between two teams going at it.
Just about halfway through the first half of this Rhino Bowl. After this will be the D1AA final. The Kentucky Wildcats and the Falcons. Ball coming in for the Tritons. Over at the top, that little ball goes to Curtis Downey. Curtis Downey slow walks it forward just to make sure he's got his support with him. Now they have ball. They want to go quick. Mabele in there as usual. Little ball out the back. Connor Price comes right through that set of forwards. Just a little sweet move there as Mabele goes off in the other direction. Player's just a little jammed up here. Bordalo takes that in. Quick pass out there from Jacoby. Picked up there by Getch. Getch takes it to the ground. Mabele. Mabele again, using the forwards. Little tip pass there. Doesn't get a line break, gets a little more. We have an advantage here. High tackle it is against the Saints. Mabele wants to go quick. Musinguini is going to step the first one as usual. Going to hand off the second, going to round the third, going to round the fourth. Looking at the try line. Musinguini can't quite get there. He would have deserved that try. Absolutely, is Mabele trying to dig that one out. They're in the pick and go game right now. Nice pick over the line. Can he get the ball down? Referee is right there. Looks to be held up against Connor Price. What another Musinguini run.
Oh, this man is on fire right now. Just to step and defend. The balance of his run, he is a real threat. Musinguini really like what he's about, but also big shout out to Mabele, number 9. He taking that quick penalty, he's on there. And Musinguini, just look at the balance of his run and then defend to get away. Oh, he's a wonderful player.
Great kick from Siena.
Ball kick downfield from Siena on the goal line dropout, excuse me. It's going to be ball here for the Tritons.
Yeah, just look at this fend here. Not one, but two. Just gets him off. That's a big number 8 he's pushed away. And then to get around, oh, it takes 4 or 5 players to stop him. He is a danger man.
Dancing with the whole team there. Wellesley, the ball's going to come in here from Sutton. John Sutton from London, England, studying fire science, the sophomore. Ball to Mabele. Mabele. Webb. Is there going to be a wraparound? They're going to go straight up the gut. Mabele. Downey. Downey doing his fair amount of carrying here. Mabele again. Gets a ball to Harry Bennett. Haven't seen a lot of Bennett so far from Whitefish, Montana. Mabele tries to sneak around himself. Can't quite find it. Going to get to the ground, however. Likely pick and go coming here. And it is, allowing Mabele time to get up and redirect. Cohen Webb time to get the offense back in the shape he would like. Mabele at the back. They're going to go one more time. Getch. Sorry, Rao takes that one to the ground. Mabele gets to Connor Price. Mabele. Little chip forward there from Cohen Webb, bouncing on the ground. It's coming back in. A nice offload there from Olison to Jacoby. Jacoby hits the ground. Players in and over there clean. Mabele gets there quick. Gets the ball to Downey. Downey doing a fair amount of carrying for this team in the first half as they come in over it quick. Mabele again has runners coming through. They're going to go for the kick pass across. Musinguini trying to catch this one. Ball bounces. It's anybody's. It's Musinguini's. Musinguini is in the try zone. I think we're going to have a little conversation before we award this. We do have TMO available. We will see what the call is here.
Just as the referees have a chat, wonderful crossfield kick. And then Musinguini, he's there. Yep, no issues whatsoever. He collected that once again, but that was 2 crossfield kicks in that play from Cohen Webb. It was a forwards initially, you mentioned it. Curtis Downey, number 3, he is putting in a shift. He is going forward, forward, forward. And what that's doing to the Siena Saints defense is bringing them condensed. So therefore, the space out wide. And Cohen Webb, he is putting the ball on the dime with these crossfield kicks to his wingers. But this time, Musinguini, he deserves that try. As we look back at this replay here, you can see the forwards are running through. That narrows up the defense. Wonderful technique there from Webb. And then Musinguini's there under a lot of pressure. Regathers that kick. This is brilliant play. There's the bounce, little tap. He regathers it. Down for the try. If anyone's deserved a score in this game, John, that is that man.
Absolutely. He's had some great footwork so far. Burnett trying to claim that it was hit forward by Musinguini. Clearly wasn't from those camera angles there. Next Level Rugby bringing you this incredible action on the Rugby Network. National Collegiate Rugby Championship Day here, the Rhino Bowl. Musinguini able to navigate the wind there, so that is good as Musinguini moves his team forward.
Just those crossfield kicks here. You can see how those players came in, and then they're on Russian Siena defense. They couldn't manage it, and then they plays the ball, gets it, regathers it. No issues there. Try.
Luca Holloway to get us going for the Saints. Saints haven't seen much ball later in this first half, Craig. It's the first 10-15 minutes is all them, and it's been dominated by Iowa Central since.
Yeah, absolutely. You just nailed it there. Iowa Central, the last 15 minutes or so, they have been really important. As we say that, they give away a penalty, and Siena needed something. They haven't had the ball for the last 10-15 minutes, but you won't get much better field position than this. It'll be interesting to see what their decision is. Do they go for the 3 points? Do they take the scrum, which has been dominant? Maybe in the Rhino Bowl game, take the scrum, go for it, and try and push them. But let's see what these young men decide.
See what they decide to do. They're going to go for posts. They're going to play it safe. Eddie Pierce is going to go for this one. Eddie Pierce, yeah, just a little miscue there. The commentator's curse is a real thing. Iowa Central just bobbles that ball a bit. A little miscue, a player got off sides. So it's going to allow Pierce the opportunity here from Cornwall, England, the Truro School. Senior physics major at Siena.
I actually think it's the tight head prop, Ravetta, who might be taking this kick, John.
Really?
Yeah, he's seen him step
there
up
he is.
there.
Yeah, he got handed the ball by Pierce. Ravetta from Weston, Florida, went to Cypress Bay High School. He's a first-year business management and administration major. You can see the ruck on their jersey, a rugby-specific tavern near them. That one is going to have the flags staying down, so we're going to remain 14-12.
Yeah, big miss there. If you're going to take those points in that situation in front of a post, you've got to be slotting them over. But that being said, it's still a big win. So whatever kick this is going to be, it's going to hang up. So if it gets anywhere beyond the 10-meter line, they've done pretty well. So Siena are still going to have a great attacking field position.
Iowa Central. Wind has calmed down a little bit here. Still gusty. As that one comes down into Pierce's hands. Pierce show the ball to a couple people, move it on. It's going to get into the hands of Jack Burns. Burns is going to find some room. Burns has some runners in Tonisi. Decides to hang on to it himself. He had Tio Tonisi streaming down the field. The big loose head prop. Would love to have a run there. But we're going to have a penalty against for an intentional knockdown. Holloway goes for it. Luca Holloway. Intentional knock it down. I had my 2 words mixed up together there. As the ball comes back to Thomas Mann. Siena at the line, looking for points. Siena up 2. Iowa Central has had most of the possession. As soon as we pointed that out, it's come back Siena way. Ball is at the line. Ball is over the line potentially, and a referee is going to award the try to the Siena Saints. 5 points on the board as they go to 19.
Siena Saints, they eventually get over. It was a great break initially by Jack Burns, and he was on his inside. Tonisi was running such a wonderful line from the big man from the loose head prop, but they managed to secure possession after Iowa Central. A bit of ill discipline once again. They've got themselves in a bit of a silly penalty to give away. It was kind of jumping after the ball, intentionally knock it down. You don't need to be doing that in that position. And then Siena Saints made the most of it. A quick tap penalty. And then we go, if we just look back here, Jack Burns on an outside break. Look at Tanisi #1. That is a wonderful line. He's there. Burns decides to hold on to it, and then the team can now go into the big men go into work. Really organized. You can see that they've got that latcher on. They're putting on that extra pressure. And everything from Iowa Central, they're trying to get there. Maybe they could be a little bit lower, and that's just really great work. You're allowed that one initial movement. It's exactly what he did. It looks like, was it number 5? Hogan gets over and gets a try. And we have a new kicker.
We do have a new kicker, and that kicker also is not going to hit right there. So we're at 19-12 is where we stay.
So it looks like we've had 3 kickers so far from the States.
Sam Houston will be in the Lone Star Bowl later on today. See them taking in this one.
Yeah, tough one so far. From the kicks at goal, we've had Pierce, number 15. We've had number 10, Luca Holloway, and we've also had the wild card, Ravetta, at number 3 as well. So who knows? I think it's going to be Tanisi next. I think he'll be able to slot it over.
We'll see. I was really rooting for Rovetta. I got to tell you that much. Rovetta would have been lovely to see him hit that. Musinguini is going to get us started again. His kicks have been hanging high in the air here. If the wind stays the same, they should have winded their back a little more in the second half, should Iowa Central. We have a knock-on advantage, so it's going to be a scrum to the Tritons.
I can't say it enough, but Manguisi at 15, he is such a skillful player, not only with ball in hand, his kicking from the conversion was great, but also that restart that hung up in the air. It was a contestable kick that allowed the chasers to put maximum pressure on and force a knock on, but it came from some great skill set from number 15. Keep an eye on him. He's going to go far, I think. An excellent player.
He is a fantastic player. Seen him for a couple of years now. Musinguini, always fun to watch, always fun to call. Ball to come in from Mapele. Tyler Gast shaping in the back, gets that ball at his feet. They're going to go to the backs, into the hands of Jacoby. Jacoby looking for the runner coming around. Musinguini, clearly the player they want to get the ball to quite a lot. Shows the ball to the outside, goes to the inside, and Musinguini is going to cruise in for his second. Takuzwa Musinguini for another try.
Sometimes it's just unfair, John. There's just people who can play rugby so well, but actually from the strike play, they gave Musinguini an opportunity to excel. So it was really well held up in that 10-12 channel. That holds the drift defense, and then they give it on the miss pass to Musinguini. Here it is, great skill set. Doesn't have to change his running angle. Then it's that left foot edge, and when he's just going to that step, I mean, he can't get no hands to him whatsoever. Just look at the balance of his runner. He's got the ball in 2 hands, so that makes that defender, that last defender, have to go out to the winger, and then he just beats him for pace, skill level. He is calm, collected. Oh, wonderful player.
Also aware where the camera is, Musinguini is going to follow this up and try to put the extra points in there as we're just about 6 minutes to go in this first half. Musinguini, stadium quiets down for him. See his approach here. Musinguini hit from this area before and is going to hit again. Good work by Takuzwa Musinguini to convert his own try here at the Rhino Bowl. Houston, Texas, we have a game on our hands.
Yeah, wonderful. Just three plays that we're going to talk about there. First of all, the restart from Musinguini to hang it in the air, and then it was a nice strike play to give Musinguini the ball in space where that 15-meter channel where he can exploit it, and then he goes in untouched. But Siena are well in this game, 19 all. We haven't said too much about them in the last few minutes, but they've certainly got points on the board.
Certainly have. They can explode pretty quickly, can both of these teams actually, but Siena has certainly showed it as Mabele has the ball again. Curtis Downey calling for it. Curtis Downey going to take this one in right at the 22. Finding a little bit of ground here. Has Bennett to clear that off. Siena player needs to roll away and does. Mabele gets it there. They go out the back. Are they looking for Musinguini again? They are. Musinguini again steps that first defender, releases this one to Sutton. Sutton shows, pulls a little Musinguini himself, brings the ball back in as they get it to Mabele. Mabele, sure he was quite expecting that, so they sent Colby McPherson in to reset. The ball seems pretty clear there, but Mabele has to go in And it's going to be a penalty against Tritons. Just one too many offloads there. Player got isolated.
Yeah, they were just trying to play just a little bit too cute. They kind of went away from their structure a little bit. And Siena have been putting a lot of pressure on at the rucks. They've been trying to jackal. One thing I've noticed from Siena, they're getting their hands on the ball, but they're not trying to lift the ball. And it looks like the referee's been really clear. He wants to see a lift of a ball. Get on your hands onto the ball is clearly not enough. It's been really consistent here from the referee. So good refereeing. But Siena, at that time, they got onto the ball, clearly trying to lift it. And there's a turnover. They got their reward.
Siena with the line out. Rupert Bronkhorst. Transvalia High School. Vanderbilt Park. South Africa launches that one up in the air. They are driving forward. Was that taken down by Iowa Central? Referee says it went down on its own, so they're going to play on to Coker. Ball out the back now. Finally some room to run here. Working his way through that line. That's Rory Wood. Gets the ball away. It's in the hands of Harry Ryder. Harry Ryder is going to find his way into the try zone, and just like that, we have a lead change.
Oh, wonderful play. Really like that from Rory Wood. What a finish, but it was a nice strike play. So remember, it came from that turnover, so great work there defensively. And it was all about a solid line out, and it was a nice strike move. Once again, like we just said with Iowa Central, just to put the danger men in position. So you can see number 14 there, Rory Wood coming off his wing. He hits a great outside line. And then Eddie Pierce is there as well, but it's number 13, Harry Ryder, who's on hand to finish a wonderful break from Rory Wood. Lovely strike play.
Almost an intentional knock on from one of the Tritons players right there. That would have resulted in probably even worse, but a penalty try and a yellow card. Player just trying to stop that play. Not going to happen. Siena, we'll see who's going to take the shot this time. Holloway steps up. Holloway is going to find that one for the full 7. Luca Holloway, another London, England-based player, economics major, went to London Oratory School.
Yeah, you got to love a strike play though. The backs are going to be happy with this one. Just as it comes out, you can see that Rory Wood is just hanging out the back, and there he takes that outside line. He takes the space. Great running. He's got Pierce there, but it's actually going to Harry Ryder, who's there, who gets to finish it off. And not only that, he's got the pace to get around, get under the post, and that adds the extra 2. The kickoffs have been an issue from the Saints. Let's see how they do on this one.
Ball swirling in the wind there, comes down to the Tritons. Tritons have it. Bordalo gets through the first tackler. Mapele finds Connor Price. Cohen Webb has to come back the other direction. Henry Bennett's surely having her on this one. Players in and over. Siena's ripped that one away. Tia Tonisi very pleased with his actions. It forces the turnover there at 26-19, under a minute to go in the half.
Yeah, Tonisi, he's been fighting hard there all day. He felt he hasn't been getting his rewards. You can see when he's been on the ball in past rucks that he's asking the referees, like, come on, surely this time. But that time, wonderful technique. He won the race to the ruck. He won the shoulder height. And as I mentioned earlier, he was clearly lifting the ball. It's a great picture to send to a referee, and he got his reward there. Tonisi has been working hard there all day. Well done, that man. You can just see him in the back of the screen. Look how he wins the race. He wins the body height. That's the 2 key things. And then he's clearly lifting the ball. He's even looking at the referee while he does it. There's the eye contact. There's the celebration. Wonderful work from that big man.
Well done, Tonisi, communication marketing major. Ball up into the middle of the lineout, taken forward. It's in Andrew Broccoli's hands from Del Mar, New York. Bronkhorst takes it forward, a little up to the left there, so DeCoker, the scrum half, has to come in and clean that one up. Holloway thought about the wraparound there, now gets it back from Burns. They go out wide into the hands of Connor Watkins. Connor Watkins with an interesting attempt at an offload there, hits a Tritons player. Working back, very loud blast of the whistle. Referee's going to want to have a conversation.
11, captain. Captain, 11. Say, wait. The way when he deflected it, it went forward. But it will clear man outside. blocked it. When you hit it in second round up, it went forward, preventing their opposition on the outside.
And there's a yellow card.
Going to be a yellow card here to the Tritons.
You can be back.
Yeah, just as we're looking back at it, it was a pretty wild pass. Oh, I don't think there was much
Yes, I'll have
intention
it,
there. He was
Tom.
trying to get it back. I think this is a tough call. I mean, it was probably more reaction. That looked like a forward pass as well there. So a couple of hard decisions there against Iowa Central. It was just instinctively putting his hand up in the air. It looked like it went down, maybe backwards. Tough call there, but look. It gives the Siena, it's all come from Siena pressure, and that's what it does. That was a bit of a wild pass there from Watkins. Sometimes you make your own luck. But yeah, I certainly think his opposite number, Gavin Olsen, I think he's a little hard done by there.
We are over the 40-minute mark in this first half, so we're in a referee's time here. Can't end at a penalty, so they go short there. Big drive coming in from the Saints. Saints are at the line. Saints are there. I don't know how much further they want to go, but they're going to touch down a good forwards try. Little trickery, not sure who's getting rewarded with it yet, but what an end to the half for the Siena Saints.
Yeah, we talked about a back strike play beforehand. This was a forward strike play straight off the training field. It was a quick initial lineup. There was not even a jump. They knew they were going to go into the driving maul. They caught those early players in the ruck off, and then look at that camera angle there from Next Level Rugby. But wonderful work. That is a strike play for the forwards. They're going to love that one.
Very pleased with that try as they're going to head into halftime with a strong lead in the Rhino Bowl, National Collegiate Rugby Championship Weekend 2024 here in Houston, Texas, the SaberCats Stadium. Plenty of rugby today on the Rugby Network at the TRN Plus ticket. Enjoy a weekend's worth of rugby. Thank you for joining Craig and I over here at Next Level Rugby, bringing you this action with NCR as the kick to come from the left-hand side of the field.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the Springboks play that move before, and I know the Siena Saints have got a very big South African presence in the team, so wonder if they've done their analysis there.
So that is going to be halftime there. Ends with a try from Siena. They take a strong lead here. We're going to step aside for halftime. We'll be back with second half action in just a minute.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America.
It's rugby time, America.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
Rugby is a sport where teamwork truly makes the difference. In alignment with the values of rugby, Globant and Major League Rugby join forces in a powerful innovation scrum that aims to elevate the sport using the latest technologies. We are already co-creating digital solutions to impact the game, the fans, and the global community in a sustainable way. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America.
It's Rugby Time America.
Welcome back to the Collegiate Rugby Championships. It's the Rhino Bowl, National Collegiate Rugby, bringing you championship weekend. Siena surging to a late lead in the first half over Iowa Central. A special player on Iowa Central. However, Craig, let's take a look.
Yeah, number 15, Musanguini for Iowa Central. He has been on form so far. This was a wonderful play. This was off of a lot of work. The crossfield kick from Cohen Webb. It's just right on the money. There's Musanguini. He just rounds that last defender and he gets the try. But he's been every time he's had his hands on the ball, he's looked like a threat. He's got that nice little step to the left side, just as we look at this rear end view here. Look at that wonderful athleticism, and not only that, he's been kicking goals, and I like this one. It was a well-worked play. Then there's that little side step we've been seeing a lot of. What I liked about that, he had the ball in two hands, so that meant Eddie Pearce, the 15, couldn't get his hands on the ball. Just watch it from this end-on view. Look how he's got the ball in two hands. That makes that final defender have to drift, and then he's waking his way through. What a try. And he knows where the camera is as well.
You know, he certainly knows where the camera is when he comes around here. But, I've said it over and over again during the first half. Consistently, when he's gotten that ball, he's beat that first defender. So he's immediately opening them up there. So Deanna's just going to have to really cope with that in this second half, because obviously that's going to be a tactic. Get the ball to Musanguini, get him in the open, and let him beat some defenders.
Yeah, in terms of how you stop that, the drift defense isn't really working. So you need to put man on man. You need to fly up. You need to try and shut him down. The vulnerability of that is you might get caught up. But Siena, they haven't had a lot of possession overall, but they've scored their tries through great strike plays. They've been very efficient with the ball in hand. This time it's going to be number 13, Harry Ryder. He's been dangerous. He's got himself a couple of tries, but they've just been pretty efficient with the ball. They haven't kept it for too long, but when they do get the ball, when they do get in the 22, Siena have been coming away with points. This one was just a nice inside ball to Eddie Pearce. He was putting himself in some really nice positions just to be effective. That extra play, it was a fast start, and then just on the edge of half time there, the forwards, they put together their own little strike play. It was a very quick driving maul. Just wonderful play from Siena. So efficient in their play, and they're deserved so far for the lead.
We are just about ready for the second half here. Some work to do for the Tritons. They're going to have the wind at their back a little bit. 31-19. 40 minutes to go in the Rhino Bowl. National Collegiate Rugby Championship 15s 2024. Hosted by the Houston SaberCats Stadium. A yellow card to start for Iowa Central on something a little bit of a tough call, but nonetheless, they're going to have to deal with it for the first few minutes as they get us underway. Cohen Webb puts one up in the air, and Siena immediately down on that one. Hudson Varau makes that first tackle. Harvey Hogan takes that one in. To Coker. Going to hang this one up in the air. To Coker. Into the breeze. Well taken by Webb. Mabele gets the ball to Curtis Downey. Curtis Downey bounces off of Bronkhorst. It does not happen very often. Tough customer Bronkhorst. Mabele moves it quick. They go out the back, looking to go wide. Immediately he goes over the head of Musinguini this time, but now into his hands. Less room to work with, but around that first defender as usual. Fends off the next. Hanging on to him there is Jack Burns. First defender has really taken him to the ground. We lost a little bit there as the ball comes to Henry Bennett. Mabele takes a step, draws in some defenders, gets the ball into the hands of Jacoby. Bounces back, bounces forward. It's in the hands of Siena now. Little look ahead there from Eddie Pierce. He's going to drive a low one through the 40-meter line of the Tritons. Their ball using that wind at their back now, playing that territory game. It rolls into the try zone. It's rolling towards the back. It's going to come all the way back to where he kicked it from a scrum there. Even the large try zone is not going to help him, so it's going to be an opportunity here for the Tritons.
Yeah, just underestimated the strength of this wind here in Houston. Just caught it. And as soon as that ball started rolling into the 22, you just know that was going to go dead. Really good patience there from the Saints. So that means we come all the way back for the scrum. It's been a good disciplined start from Siena. They were building some pressure. They were looking to box kick. Eddie Pierce, it stood in the 9 position, threaded a box kick through. You don't often see that. That allowed to just get some good field position. So no, a good solid start from Siena. Some good, smart rugby.
Certainly good work here from Siena. The Saints said it was a Triton opportunity. It's a Saints opportunity to attack here to extend their lead, 31-19. They'll be happy with where they're going in. Have to defend. You see the flag right there. Not as much wind as there was in the first half. Potentially a little rain coming through Houston. Yesterday, a bit more rainy. Another big scrum penalty here for the Saints.
Yeah, it just felt that was coming. What the Saints have got the advantage now, their set piece is dominant. We saw that try right on the edge of halftime where they went over. Their scrum has been dominant the whole game. And that does take its accumulation and its toll on the opposition, who is under the pump a little bit. This time it's the Tridents. So the scrum's just pulling the strings now. That allows Eddie Pierce to nudge them even further down. Their line-out's been strong. It's a very good, strong, pragmatic rugby.
Good work here. Siena pragmatic, a wonderful word for it. They're down in the corner. We'll see the back strike plays from the forward strike plays. We'll see what they go with this time. Looking pretty confident right at the 22 are the Siena Saints. Tritons on defense. Ball up to the middle into Anthony Guarino's hands. Quickly down to the ground, but a pick and go. A little extra drive off the side there, so good maul coming forward. Triton's going to have to be careful not to drop this one as they drive it towards the touchline, trying to get them out. Assistant referee right on the spot, but ball available for the Siena Saints. In the hands of Ryder. Not the biggest fellow, but able to get through with some power on a lot of these runs here. Has been doing very well. Speaking of power, Tio Tanisi takes that one to Coker. Shows the ball once. The Coker shows the ball again. Down into Rovetta's hands. Cross it in the middle. They're right by the post here. Do they have room? Looking for it himself. In and over. That looks like to Coker. Try awarded. End the first half of the try. Start the second half of the try. Good work here for the Siena Saints.
Yeah, excellent rugby from the line out. Very well organized. Even though there's that initial sack from Ira Central, they just shifted it over to the left-hand side. And then it was just good. Once said it again, pragmatic rugby. It was hard running. There was options inside and outside each time. I saw Tanisi, he was on an inside ball. As you mentioned at the start of the play there, John, Harry Ryder, big strong runner. Even though he's a smaller guy, he's a powerful man. And then it was just eventually that speed of play told, quick pick and go, over for the try.
36-19, kick to come, just under 5 minutes gone in this second half of the Rhino Bowl. Remember, after this, going to be the D1 AA final between Bowling Green State University, the Falcons, and the Wildcats of the University of Kentucky. That kick was good, 38-19.
Just as we look back here, it was just, they were starting to run out with defensive numbers. Ira Central, nice pick and go, knows where the space is. But that came from repeated efforts. What Siena are doing really well, they've got men around the ball. So there's a carry option, there's an inside and outside option. And whatever option's taken, that means there's also supporters there for a quick ruck. And that's how they manage to keep that continuity and therefore get that try.
Musinguini to get us started again here. Musinguini hangs a nice one up. It goes deep inside the 22. A lot of room to work downfield here for the Siena Saints. In and over that is Hudson Brow, and he draws a penalty. Mabele wants to go quick.
That's exactly what they needed there. Wonderful turnover. Just as we look back at the replay, you can see nice, strong, wide base. He's got his hands on the ball. He's won the shoulder height. That's a really nice turnover.
Bit of a gutsy call here, I'd say. They're going for the scrum, are the Tritons. They've had a couple of scrum penalties against the Saints. Theoretically, it sounds good. Strategically, you're getting all your players in one place with a Musinguini out wide looking for a ball, but they have to win the scrum first.
Yeah, first of all, you've got to win the scrum, and secondly, remember, they've got a winger who's also in the sin bin, so they're a man down. Maybe they're just trying to bring in that defense, as you said, and give Musinguini a one-on-one or a two-on-one. He'll probably take it. So it'd be interesting to see, first of all, they have to win this scrum.
Ball in, big drive coming from the Saints. Players popping out of there, but ball's away, so they're okay. They get it out there. Musinguini looking for it. Gets to Cohen Webb. Cohen Webb rolls around. Ball tapped in the air there by Eddie Pierce. Was it knocked forward? Referee says no. Staying alive here are the Siena Saints. A kick right in the hands of the Tritons. It looks like a knock on there, so we're going to have a scrum here for this Saints team.
Yeah, just as we look back, we just remember that yellow card. The hand goes up in the air. It looks very, very similar to that one we saw before from the Ira Central. Maybe did this one go down straight
this one
away?
Went backwards. That one, although it was attempted to knock backwards, it went forward against Iowa Central, just the direction of the ball. But yeah, very close.
Yeah, who'd be a referee, eh?
They always have us.
Crouch. 5.
DeCoker to put this one in. Fred DeCoker from Uplands College, computer science major. Another senior, a number of seniors on this Siena team, playing in what's most likely their last 15s game for the Saints. That one nearly spilled forward. Was it spilled forward? A referee had a handout. It says it was recovered by the Saints, so they're good to go.
Use that.
DeCoker being told to use the ball. Hangs one for Musinguini. Musinguini, collision in the air there. We'll see where the penalty may come from here. But two players down. Looked like a pretty even contest for the ball. We'll see the referee and assistant referee confer.
I didn't want him to go after him.
Just so we look at, yeah, it looks like a clear contest in the air. It's a tough one. I'm going to see what the referee says here. He's talking to his assistant referee just as we look back at this camera angle. Both players have got their eyes on the ball. It looks like a rugby collision for me. Nothing in there. I would say that's probably a knock on.
Everything you said is absolutely correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Captain. Green. Yes, sir. Blue, you can listen. Captain. It was a reckless attempt in the air, taking out the player's legs of the blue player. He did land on his shoulder, not head or neck, so it's going to be a yellow card to your player. No. 14.
Yeah, if I look back on this, I think this is just a rugby incident. I don't think there's any maliciousness in there.
Yeah, it's not pretty, but they're both going for the ball here. You never see the Siena player look down as if he's going to take the player out there.
Yeah, both eyes were initially on the ball. There is a duty of care to the catcher, but both felt they had both rights to the ball there. Yeah, I think that was a bit of a tough one.
So player on both teams in the bin at the moment. It's going to be a penalty for Iowa Central. Down 38-19. They could use the points here. He is up and he is fine.
Yeah, just as we come from a box kick, it was a good box kick because it was contestable. Eyes clearly on the ball for both teams. Yeah, it looked like Musinguini got there first. The referee was very confident in his call. Maybe the TMO could have been a good option there, John.
TMO might have been the option to go to for that one, to check for foul play, as coming back onto the field is Watkins from his yellow card. So Siena with a yellow card at the moment. Ball up there to McPherson. Little wraparound play here. Big bump off run. It's Tyler Gast. Tyler Gast heads towards the line. Tyler Gast does a good job of just getting there. Mabele looking for a runner. Ball's a little slower than he would typically like. Defense is there. Watkins comes in, and Watkins is going to score. Oh, sorry, Olesen is going to score a try. Looking at the teams just for a second there. Olesen came back in from his yellow card. Runnels, Iowa native, is going to score a try here.
Yeah, he had 10 minutes to sit on the bin and think about that one. He was ready to play, but it all came from that initial run from the line out from Tyler Gast. It was wonderful play. Great pass there from Mabele to get that low. He's a small player, but he's a strong player, Olesen, and he got himself over and he got himself back into the game. He was frustrated with that yellow card. What a way to answer it back to get a try of his own for his team.
Musenguini will look to add 2 more points. Is looking to cut the lead here while they have a full complement of players in the field, and the Saints have only 14. With Eddie Pierce in the bin. Musenguini lining this one up. Left-footed kicker is Musenguini. You see the swirling flags back there, so wind certainly a factor. Musenguini eyes it up. Musenguini on his approach. Pushes that one just to the left there, so it's going to remain 38-24, 12 minutes gone in the second half.
Yeah, Tyler Gast with an initial burst through, and then it was number 7, Gavin Olsen. He just targeted in between those 2 players. Look how he got his head down, his body low, so even if he got tackled, he could ride into the end zone to get that try. That was really well worked, but it was initially great from Tyler Gast, number 8, off the line out, busting into the heart of the Siena defense.
Ball up to the Tritons. Tritons. 30 meters out from their own line. Cohen Webb tries to put a long one out there to Musenguini. Was that knocked forward? Musenguini has it. Unleashes an outside runner. They've got a runner on the inside. Ball a little bit over Mabele's head, so he takes the hit there. Going to be able to recycle this one. Good work by Musenguini to get that started. Ball comes back to John Sutton. Player from Siena coming around. Referee says that's fine. Sean Bastick said the ball was clearly out. They hadn't got there quick enough to distribute to the Saints. Eddie Pierce. Penalty against the Tritons here.
Iowa Central's on the wrong side of a few decisions here. I feel I just saw that for Siena as well. Exactly the same play with that going for the interception. This time it looks like the Saints they've benefited it for once again. But these are really borderline calls here.
Ball down. Did it make touch? The assistant referee says indeed it did. Got his flag up, so we're going to bring this back. Be a line out for the Saints inside the 22 of the Iowa Central Tritons.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out, but what a bit of skill here. You see, it looks like the ball has crossed the plane of touch, therefore it is out. And then, oh, nice bit of skill here. Just look, yeah, foot on the floor. And if it crosses that plane, it's deemed as out. Looks like it is there. Well, that's a great bit of skill, great camera work.
Yeah, great camera work. Excellent attempt to keep that in by Webb. Unlucky not to hang on to that one. Ball in from the Saints. They go for another little trick play there. Comley pushes it back towards the front of the lineout. Now they're to the ground. So Tanisi has to take it to Coker. Finds Ryder. Ryder takes a little bit of a turn around the outside there. Tackled by Jacoby. To Coker. Finds a pot of forwards. They're just going to push that one forward, but it's spilled in the contact area. It's going to come back to be a scrum here to the Tritons.
Yeah, some nice defense there from the Tritons. This time they stay strong. Last time they found themselves in this position, the Saints machine just went to work and they eventually got the try. This time, that interior defense in and around the ruck, they were standing up to that Siena attack. What was starting to get a bit of momentum there. Some good work. They forced a turnover. Yeah, it was really, really much needed at a very important stage in this game.
Look at Jonah Get, scored a try earlier for the Tritons. Tritons through Mabele get started here. Attempt for a big push by Siena. Don't get it this time. Going to go right to the boot with Cohen Webb. They want to play down this end of the field. Ball rolls into touch. That's good purchase for them. It's going to be a line out for the Saints, but way down at their 22.
That must have been close to a 50-22. Is that a 50-22? Oh, really close. But I tell you what, regardless, it was an excellent kick. You can see the 22 is just approaching, and then the ball trickles out just before. But he's not going to be too disappointed with that. It's put the pressure back onto the Siena Saints. That was a wonderful kick.
Certainly was. So close down there. Nearly put that one through.
It's a line out to Siena.
Bronkhorst puts that one up in the air. Driven forward, taken down to the ground, but illegally so, says referee Bastic. So we're going to stay alive here. And Siena, ball at their own 22. The Coker gets that one back behind Guarino. Guarino from Trumbull, Connecticut. That one hung up in the air.
Well taken by Cohen Webb.
Ball down here for the Iowa Central Tritons. Downey again, taking that ball in. There's space to the left-hand side, but a big break here from the prop. Curtis Downey puts the ball away. Another little ball fed over the top here. Gets back in the hands of Connor Price. As long as that pass was legal, it's going to be fine. So 5 points to the good here for the Tritons. Connor Price with a big, big run here from Curtis Downey. Gets the ball to the replacement, Carter Price. Carter Price gets the ball to Connor Price of a relative right there. Believe them to be brothers. He gets the ball. He's heading in the try zone. And the Tritons, off of a beautiful break from the tight head prop, put 5 on the board.
Yeah, Curtis Downey take a bow. He saw that opportunity and when he bust through that gap, just as the Siena defense was starting to fold around the corner, perhaps they were worried about the threats out wide. But this interplay between the forwards was excellent. First of all, great support from Carter Price. And then Connor Price is there on hand, to get that try in there. But that is one for the foot. And there they are. The big boys are happy at that. That was a wonderful try.
I was reviewing for my day-to-day, and there were a couple of sets of brothers in these teams, but it doesn't seem Carter and Connor are related. One from New York scoring the try, one from Kansas City, Missouri to Liberty North High School with the assist there. Great work by the Prices to get that 5 points.
Curtis Downey, he's been excellent all day. He's been doing the hard yards all the way through. And then that opportunity presented itself as the Siena defense started to fold around the corner quickly, probably because they're worried about Musanguini. They want to get that space covered out wide. That's when the space opened up in the middle for Downey to fly through. Price was on, Carter Price was on hand, and then a nice basketball pass over to Connor Price for the try.
Weenie from straight in front and notches that one, so they get the full 7 out of it to the Iowa Central Community College Tritons. Good work here. This game still anybody's. And you see a little celebration there from one of the Tritons.
These Iowa boys certainly know how to celebrate a try. You see each time they're enjoying themselves out there, and why not? That was a fun score, but really well worked from Connor Price. Great job. Here he is. Look at this end-on view from Downey. But just look how he kept composed. There was Carter Price. He was also composed. He knew he didn't have the legs to make it, but he had the passing skills to get into there. And it was all about that great support play. Wonderful try.
Tritons, Cohen Webb, the competitor, head of steam. They get going again. It's 38-31, converted try. Just about 3/4 of the way done with this game. Plenty more to play. These teams would like to finish the fall season in style. So get ready for a 20-minute battle here as the ball goes back from Connor Price Out to Musanguini. Musanguini catches over his head, but as usual, beats the first defender and unleashes an outside runner. Alex Brunette taken down with an ankle tap there. Mabele gets the boys going once again.
No, 16.
Penalty not rolling away. Mabele wanted to go quick. They're going to slow down just a tick here are the Tritons. Cohen Webb stepping in.
Yeah, Tritons, they've just really went up a gear now. They feel energized from that try. Great movement of the ball. Musanguini, he beats a defender every single time. Great work, and then he gave the ball to Olsen, who's out on the wing, and they launched their attack. And it was a great tap tackle there from Siena to kill the attack, but then eventually they got caught, not rolling away. And you can just feel now from Irish Central, once they get a bit of momentum, they are tough to stop.
Rory Wood back on the field here for the Siena Saints. So they're back at full strength. You see the 60-minute mark there in an 80-minute game. So we've got just under 1/4 of the game to play. A couple of reserves in here for the Tritons. You see Munyaradzi Chikasha into the game, wearing number 18.
Line out to the Tritons.
Another Zimbabwean-born player. Ball up, tipped into Mabele's hands. Can only get that one away to Hudson Vrau. Mabele has some players wrapping around, and not much room this time for Downey. Connor Price, the try scorer, shows, hangs onto the ball. They're looking to head towards the line again. Straight forward they go. See Chikasha calling for this one on the right-hand side. Fresh legs in the game. They're going to go to the other side. Ball comes back. They'll come back this way. First touch of the ball there for Chikasha. He's taken to the ground by Siena.
The Tritons.
Just kind of going back and forth between pods here right now with the Tritons. Not finding much purchase. I want to go a little wider and see what's happening as they do exactly that. Ball back into the hands of another replacement there. Juan Rivas. Brown. Gets forward, gets across the 22. Takes a couple of the Saints with him. Nice pick there from Connor Price. Makes a couple of more meters for this team. But Siena in and over that one. It is Tio Tonisi again. Forces the turnover there, and inside their 22, it's going to be a Saints penalty.
I think Tonisi maybe got a little bit lucky there. He went for the ball, then released and went back on for it. You can't go for that second dip. But as I mentioned in the first half, he is really trying to cause havoc at those defensive rucks. This is a tough kick, middle of the field. It'd be interesting to see how many yards they make here. Not much.
It's going to be a line out.
Yeah, Tanisi's been really putting a lot of pressure on. He's been shackling, but there I just thought he had a second bite at it, which you're not allowed to do. And but he got the turnover for his team. They've got an opportunity to have their own line out and build some momentum back.
You know, they've scored in kind of spurts here. They've scored a couple of times every time they have, so we'll be looking to do that again as some changes come in for the Saints as well. I'm sure soon to take the field. They look to the tail of the lineup, but a little messy. Down into the hands of Chikasha, the engineering major. Mabele to Tyler Gast. Tyler Gast gets to the 22. Mabele. Ball out the back there. They're looking to go wide. You know who they're looking to get this ball to as it gets into the hands of Jonah Getch, and now to Musanguini. Musanguini to the outside. That one not handled by Alex Brunette. So we're going to come back for a scrum to Siena.
Yeah, Brunette just couldn't keep his hands on the ball there. Just forced a knock on. It went into Musanguini's hand. You knew what we're trying to do, but that defense there, particularly from that midfield of Ryder getting off the line, that's exactly what you need to do to stop danger men like Musanguini. You need to stop them at source. If they get momentum, we've seen already, they will burn you, they will get around you. So that was wonderful line speed, particularly after a series of defensive sets, to get off the line, to put pressure on, to force the skill set error.
The referee has just signaled for a little stoppage here. Player getting attended to.
Looks like a head knock, maybe. Maybe some blood.
Some medical attention here for Siena. Yeah, just a little of the blood trickling out there. Sure, here They'd love to stay in this one or just get patched up. They can get a blood replacement for a few minutes here, so not out of the game altogether. See the ads back there for the men's All-Stars, January 18th and 19th for National Collegiate Rugby. All-Star events for men and women. Another feature of National Collegiate Rugby's repertoire of events.
Yeah, I'll be lucky enough to attend a few All-Star events now with the Tri-State Foundry. Wonderful tournament from NCR, much like these national championships. Some of the best players in the USA Rugby going at it. As you just see, he's getting patched up.
Just a little scrape there. He's going to be okay. DeCoker is going to get us going again. Fred DeCoker has a good game so far. So we're about 15 minutes left now. 38-31, the Siena Saints out of New York over the Iowa Central Community College Tritons. Still in it with everything to play for. One converted try with a player like Musinguini. That can happen in the bat of an eye. Big push this time for the Tritons. DeCoker has to dig. Ball doesn't go quite where they would like it to go. Now they're going to use that whiff. Over the head, they nearly go. Watkins tries to round one. It gets the offload away. Down to the ground. Looks like John Hall.
Good defense from the Tritons.
DeCoker has to take that one in. Players coming in. Good defense there from Chikasha. Kasha, a first-year player at Iowa Central. Ball to the ground for the Saints. A little bit of a standstill here. Territory game might not be ruled out here for the Saints team as Tonisi comes in. DeCoker back on his feet. Pot of forwards runs through. Again, they just hit the ground with the ball. They're not connecting quite like they would want to at the moment, are the Saints. Up by 7 points in the Rhino Bowl. Ball to Guarino. Played at Trumbull High School. Tonisi. Little spin move. Tonisi. Player in and over for the Tritons. Can't dislodge the ball. DeCoker. Wider they come. They're across the 22. Finally getting a little go forward here. Put the hands into the ball to the hands of the big fellas. There is a roll away there for the Tritons, and it does not do so quickly enough. So it's going to be a penalty for the Saints. After all that work, not really going anywhere. They're rewarded with a penalty.
Yeah, initially good defense from the Tritons, and then it was Gudge there. He just got caught at the bottom of it. You can see it's the danger of those tackles when you latch yourself onto the ball and you got spun around. Even if you get trapped in, it's still the onus of the tackler to get out of there. That was an easy decision for the referee. Maybe he just needed to kind of wriggle on the floor a little bit more, try and make it a bit more obvious. He fell down, killed the ball, and the referee's been consistent with that. There's been a couple of those calls. He's been keeping an eye on it, so that's good, consistent refereeing. The tackler has got to get out of there to allow clear ball.
Ball from DeCoker, a long pass in the middle of the field. Standing still just a little bit again. Cumley gets that ball. DeCoker, Holloway, holds the ball, looking for an offload, doesn't find it. Short side closes down just a bit. DeCoker looks back to the strong side. Ball into the hands of Andrew Valeri. Player ripped away nearly from Iowa Central. Saw a player from Siena just launch themselves in there. It's going to come back Siena way. Referee's happy with everything. Across they come, shoestring catch. Forward they go. Broncourt spills it. It's in the hands of Mapele. Mapele has Tonisi. Referee's going to come back for the initial knock. So a scrum here for the Tritons.
Well, that was a big run there from Broncourt, particularly this late in the game. You can see the teams now, a lot of hands on hips, a lot of fatigued men. They have been going at it for the best part of 70 minutes now. But this is where the game is on an absolute knife edge. Just as you see a lot of hands on hips, the guys are tired. You just need to stay in the fight. You just feel the next score is going to be really, really important. If it can go to Iowa Central Obviously, they're right back into this game. Siena can push it out to 2 scores. That becomes really, really difficult. So, yeah, the boys are going to be taking this break here because it's a big 10 minutes coming up.
It is a big 10 minutes coming up. And it is, the difference there, as you said, I mean, both these teams from kind of cold weather places at the moment where it's starting to get a little cooler. It has been for a few weeks. They're in the, mid to high 70s here, nearly 80 degrees, pretty humid in Houston. Had some rain for a couple of days. So a lot to work with here as they're going to gut through this last 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long season. Both these teams, they would have had a bit of a break just between their conference finals and end of their regular season play into the Rhino Bowl. So they would have been keeping it going. They would have been keeping their bodies going. There's nothing like playing rugby to get a real feel of where you're at. So 10 minutes at the very end of the season, these teams are going to have to dig in which team can handle it the most.
Player seems to be coming off the field here. We'll see what happens with the replacement there. 7 points for Siena. So you see the replacement coming there, Henry Thompson, wearing the number 9. Henry Thompson from Hitchin, New York, went to John Henry Newman School, first-year finance major at Siena College. Saints on defense. Mabele to put this ball in. Ball at Gas feet. Go to Webb. We got some runners. They use Musanguini as the dummy runner this time. Ball goes to Jacoby. Mabele. Big tackle coming in from the Saints reserve there, Valeri. Powerful run coming from Devin Farrell for the Tritons. Mabele, quick ball he always gets. A look to the width, looking to open up some spaces. Gas puts that ball away. Quick pass back in there to Brunette. Mabele, look for a little space in behind. Going to keep it going with the forwards. It goes back off the hands of Downey. Waiting forward, taking it in a little sweep move there. Looking for the offloads, looking for that break are the Iowa Central Tritons. Fresh legs from Farrell again. Varral, one of his many carries today as we hit the 70-minute mark. 10 minutes to go in this contest. Rhino Bowl on the line, 7 minutes in it here in Houston. 10 minutes in it here in Houston, 7 points in it. Siena over the 50-meter line. Henry Thompson. Little break nearly materializes for the Saints. Gassed in, trying to dig this one away. Referee on the spot, but is going to come back pretty easily there. So it could have been offsides from Iowa Central, but referee's okay with it. Going to continue to play here. Stepping in is Holloway. Holden coming. This one goes back from Broccoli. Pretty kind of at a standstill here as it gets turned over there. Iowa Central. Not really a lot happening there for Siena. It looked a little lethargic going through those phases. Now Kelly has it. Gets it up into the hands of Getch. Getch has Musanguini, but he's going to have to take it into contact himself. Musanguini in the contact area of the Sarah. Belly moves it. Power coming here from some of the reserves. Little cross kick here from Webb. These have been effective earlier today. That one is going to be chipped forward. Interesting move here. We'll see what happens. Did he bring this one back in himself? Doesn't matter. He's back across the try line. Good work there from Eddie Pierce. Eddie Pierce streaking down the left-hand side as an inside runner. They're going to keep this alive. Little show and go. It is Siena's chance to shine here. Player just may have knocked that one forward and has. After all the people working, navigate territory has Siena out of their own try zone with a little interesting play here. But what a passage of rugby.
Yeah, check this out. Wonderful skill there from Brunette to keep that ball in, to put it down into that end zone. And for all money, you thought that Eddie Pierce was going to put that ball down. But no, he was off and away. Great support play. 11 as well. Watkins was back on his feet. This is excellent play. That little interchange there. Watkins, and the dummy as well. And just as you thought it was going to be on, the pass goes a little bit behind Watkins. Ryder. And then there was the knock on. But great enterprise there. Eddie Pearce, wow, what a run from there. But yeah, some good rugby all round.
And you saw Ryder there was getting that ball, and in front of him was Musinguini, but slipping.
Yes.
He was slipping on the turf there, so it would have been Ryder with a pretty clear run towards the line. Ball just a little bit in behind him. So it's 73 minutes here. We have a 7-point game in the Rhino Bowl. Siena leads. It's going to be a scrum to Iowa Central.
Just as you thought, the game was becoming a bit of a slugfest. Both teams kind of playing in and around halfway, just hitting it up off 9. The game just opens up like that. Once again, it was a wonderful crossfield kick. Cohen Webb, brilliant in his awareness of 1, where the space is, and 2, then the execution. And then it was that wonderful cheeky play from Alex Brunette to put the ball in, and then Eddie Pearce took the ball, did his thing. But you can just see how quickly this game can just light up.
Comes Curtis Downey.
Time stop now. We're coming up later today. We have the D1AA final. Kentucky Wildcats versus Bowling Green Falcons at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Followed by the Lone Star Bowl, followed by the D1 final. It's going to be a rematch of the 2022 Brown University versus Queens University of Charlotte. Ball in here for the Tritons. Tritons through Gast. Ball slips forward there. The referee doesn't spot it, however. Look, he went up with Gast and Mabelli a little bit forward, so the Tritons here. Juan Rivas trying to go forward. You see the 22. All across, ripped away, intercepted from the Saints. Saints move that ball back. Saints keeping this one alive. Is that Pierce again? Little offload. A referee's going to bring it back.
There will be a penalty for obstruction called against the Saints.
Oh, tight call initially, wonderful. Great line speed from Siena. They're getting off the line. They're putting pressure on their first start turnover. And then it was Eddie Pearce who was on a great run. It looks like he got for blocking here. I'm not seeing where that was.
Kick goes in a touch. It'll be a line out to the Tritons deep in Saints territory.
Tritons headed downfield. Line out opportunity. They just need the 7 points to tie it up.
Yeah, got themselves some great field position here. This is what they wanted with those last 10 minutes.
Shout out Jaco Visser, the coach for Siena. A little bit of concern on his face right there. You see the Kentucky fans in the background gathering for the Wildcats, defending champions.
Toe-to-toe heavyweights.
Iowa Central. Come down with that one through low center. Send a runner through there and Gast. Tyler Gast. He has gotten so close so many times. Big pick looking for the try here are the Iowa Central Tritons. Referee on the spot, very close. Can they get this one in? Big push coming. Siena pushes them out and towards the touchline. Very important here as Mabele comes across to Cohen Webb. Cohen Webb looking for Musinguini. Musinguini gets it from the ground. He's got a couple of players to beat here. Beats the first one, gets the ball away. They're at the try zone. They're in the try zone. There is Gavin Ollison touching down for 5. Kick to come. We can tie this up.
And it was the same starter play that Ollison scored on that try just before that we've seen from the Tritons. Once again, it was 8 coming around the corner, and then eventually, this time they went wide. I saw the bouncing ball. It's normally a defender's worst nightmare, because if they can't get to it, they've got to wait for it, and then if it lands in Musinguini's hands, and then he just delivers that lovely drawing pass. The bouncing rugby ball is a defensive nightmare because you have to hold your feet, and then Musinguini just allows to just get on the edge of that last defender. That is a great handoff, and then gets the 2 hands on the ball once again. It's a lovely skill set, and it was a wonderful finish from Ollison. But Musinguini, I just like the step and then the ability to put it into 2 hands, because then he becomes a running threat and a passing threat. That time he used the pass, wonderful. Massive kick coming up here.
Allison cramped right up there as you see Cohen Webb to take one. Musinguini's been doing most of the kicking. He's left-footed, so they're right-footed Cohen Webb here to tie this one up in the Rhino Bowl. You see the clouds come. That one curls, but it is not going to hit. So it's a 2-point game here with time to play, trailing our Iowa Central Community College. They've looked a bit of the fresher team the last couple of minutes, Craig.
Yeah, just any team at any point. You feel like Siena, if they can get some structure, have been moving down the field pretty efficiently, but the Tritons, they can just open it up at any given time. But a lot of credit has got to go to number 8 from Iowa Central, number 8, Tyler Gass. He's been running hard just as we see those clouds starting to gather here in Houston. I wonder what impact that's going to have.
I've seen Gass a number of times, 6'2", 220. You know, he's not that tall and massive, but he's really powerful. He looks like a bigger person when he runs. Really strong, gets to go forward for this team, does really well, does Tyler Gass. But Bele gets it out to Devin Farrell from Appleton, Wisconsin. Little pass out the back, looking down this right-hand side. There's Gass. Bowles comes in to set that one off. Mabele. Middle of the field they come. Webb gets the ball to Chikasha. Webb again. They're going to go for that cross kick. Musinguini looking for it. Musinguini's got it. Anything can happen here. He accelerates off a one. It is going to be a potential lead change if he can get around a defender, which he always does. And that man himself, it is Takutwa Musinguini from Prince Edward School from Harare, Zimbabwe. A lead change laid on here. And who else? Takutwa Musinguini.
Iowa Central, if they score 1, they score 2, they score 3. It is amazing. But Cohen Webb, his cross-field kicks have been excellent all day long. Look at that. Musinguini does not even have to break stride. That is wonderful skill, and we've seen what he can do in space. And then he rounds the last defender to get under the sticks. Really, really important. But Cohen Webb, the cross-field kick is just stunning.
Still work to do here. About 5 players to beat for Musinguini, really. Some just chasing him on his heels, but this last step, just a beauty as he heads towards the post.
Oh, that was huge. That was just a wonderful try. And it was just great work all round. Musinguini's going to get the plaudits. He deserves it. But Cohen Webb, his kicking display has been first class.
Musinguini slots it. The lead is in the hands of the Iowa Central Community College Tritons. Siena Saints going to have to dig deep here, but there's time.
And here's the end-on view there. You've got Cohen Webb. Just look at the technique. Look at the end-on-end. He puts that right foot into it. Doesn't have to break stride. Left foot step. And as you said, John, he still has a lot of work to do. He's the best part of 30 meters out. Rounds that last defender. Then he's got the pace to re-accelerate under the post. Beautiful footage from Next Level Rugby for a beautiful try.
Ball up, it is in Iowa Central hands. Mabele. We're at 75.5 minutes, so 4.5 minutes to go in this one. Remember, on the hour coming after this, D1 AA championship match. Kentucky versus Bowling Green. But right now, we have a battle on our hands, 43-38. 5 points in it. Unconverted try is a draw for Siena. Converted try wins it. Tritons just need to hang on here as they get the ball to Devin Farrell from Appleton West High School, studying fire science. All the reserves to hold it down here. They got fresh legs in. They'll probably use what we kind of refer to as a 2-minute drill. Just trying to kill some time. But ball gets knocked on in there. It's another opportunity here for the Saints. Tio Tanisi pleased with that.
Big opportunity. As we've seen, the Siena Saints, their scrum has been excellent in this game. And this is a good opportunity, even not to get the ball out wide. Just keep it in the scrum, particularly if they get the insanity, force the penalty. Then they can get the kick down into the 22, and we've seen what their line-out can do as well. But it all starts with this scrum. If I was them and they've got the initial shunt on, keep that ball at number 8's feet, draw that penalty.
Shot of Musinguini on defense right now, controlling the back of the field. Ball going to come in from Henry Thompson. Thompson gets that one away, not terribly clean. We're going to come back for an offsides penalty, however, against the Tritons. So opportunity here for the Saints to push this one downfield potentially. They need a converted try to win. We're at 2.5 minutes on the game clock here. As Eddie Pierce steps up. Eddie Pierce is going to want to get some good distance on this, not overcook it, and does right around the 22. This is the opportunity for the Siena Saints. Big moment here in the Rhino Bowl.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you get the penalty, it's that you do. Just as was mentioned, then it gives them a chance to get field position. Their line out has also been very strong all day. This is the best opportunity Siena's going to get. If they can win this line out, they've had a few trick plays so far. They've been moving the point of attack, which makes it really difficult for Iowa Central to really set their own defense up. Let's see how they play it.
They go to the tail. That one is fine. Harvey Hogan comes down with it. A break off the back. They're inside the 22. A good tackle comes in from Carter Price. Pressure to push Siena backwards just a little bit. Looking for an error here. The ball is in the hands of Harry Ryder. Harry Ryder hands off one. Harry Ryder gets that offload away, and it's a break here. And they are over the line. It is Luca Holloway with 5 points and a very kickable conversion. This is the type of game you want to play in.
I just sensed it was coming. If they could get a scrum penalty, their line-out has been efficient and they've done well, and they've shown once they've got in the 22 Siena, they are dangerous. And Harry Ryder, we spoke about him, he's a strong player, not the biggest of guys, but look how he moves the ball. Then he's got the presence of mind to put two hands onto the ball. Holloway is there and he gets it pretty much under the post. This is a big moment. Really huge in this game. Just watch how he rides a tackle. He gets two hands onto the ball. He rides, two hands, offload. Wonderful sport from Holloway. Then the step, and then he gets the opportunity to get that ball down. Great work from Siena.
Important for Musinguini at the end there. He never gave up to push him a little out from the post to make this a bit of a harder kick. So here we have all eyes on Luca Holloway, the economics major and a junior from London, England. This would win the Rhino Bowl, most likely for this Siena Saints team. Quiet in the stands. Here comes the kick. Players rushing onto it. And he has hit that. They are up by 2.
Big moments with those penalties as the clock is starting to tick down. Looks like we've got a restart to come. Ryder, just look how he stays in the fight. He's got no right to be making line breaks there. And then he just takes that last little hit. Two hands on the ball, the offload, and there's Holloway on hand. Brilliant play.
Most nervous man in the stadium right now is Jaco Visser, the coach for Siena. He's going to want these boys to take this ball cleanly off of this restart. This should wind it up.
Yeah, the Saints, they haven't had the greatest of restarts so far.
Look at Jaco Visser. I think I was correct in my assessment.
He's tucked himself as far away as he possibly can from the action. Oh, it's a nervous place being a coach.
Known Jaco for years and played a bit with him, so I can tell you the intensity of the man as we see the Rhino Bowl make its entrance. Thought they got an actual rhino.
Yes, there we are. I'm sure.
Rhino Rugby, great sponsor of National Collegiate Rugby. Use the recycled rugby balls from Rhino, very unique product.
Yeah, restarts have been a bit of an issue for Siena. They've been getting great height on the kicks, have Iowa Central. This is a huge moment in this game.
Musinguini can certainly make this happen. We're in the red. So we definitely have time for this restart. So Musinguini hangs one up in the air. All bounces, knocked forward, but that would probably end the game. Taken down here from Siena. Siena players have just kicked that ball away, and the referee.
That is not the end of the match just yet.
You're not quite there, Craig. We are quite there, and Siena is going to take a 2-point win in the Rhino Bowl. National Collegiate Rugby's Rhino Bowl. Siena College Saints are up 2 points and win over Iowa Central Community College, the Tritons. What a matchup, Craig.
Yeah, great matchup. Went down to the wire. Well played, both teams. Enter a great season. Siena nicks it at the end. Great job to them.
Great work. Congratulations, Siena Saints. We're going to step away at 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. It's going to the D1 AA final between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Bowling Green Falcons. Stay with us.